20 cheap classic cars, V8 legends, rare cars that are still around, and classic muscle cars that are now available from $1,000 to $8,000. Let's see what turns up this week. Number 1. 1977 Chevrolet Caprice 2-door, $8,000, Toledo, Ohio. This first-year box Chevy looks like a solid survivor with a strong running 350 V8 and mild cam setup. The seller says the car runs strong and still keeps most of its original character, which is getting harder to find on these late 70s Chevrolets. It does have some rust and will need general TLC, but overall, it sounds like a usable driver project instead of a complete rebuild. With only around 44K miles showing and a clean title, this Caprice could be a good starting point for someone wanting a classic full-size cruiser. Number 2. 1976 Ford Thunderbird Coupe 2D, $7,800, Silver Spring, Maryland. This 1976 Thunderbird appears to be a well-maintained driver with 58K original miles and a long list of recent maintenance. The 460 V8, automatic transmission, and updated cooling and AC components make it sound like a car that's been kept on the road instead of parked away. The seller describes it as a dependable cruiser that can still be driven regularly with confidence. As the final year for this body style, it also carries that big luxury coupe presence these mid-70s Thunderbirds are known for. Number 3. 1978 Dodge Aspen, $7,500, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. This Dodge Aspen keeps things simple with a slant 6 engine, automatic transmission, and reportedly low original mileage. A lot of recent mechanical work has already been completed, including brakes, suspension parts, carburetor work, cooling components, and brand new tires. The car sounds like an honest survivor with regular maintenance already handled. It may not be a high horsepower muscle car, but for someone looking for a clean and straightforward late 70s Mopar, this one seems realistic and usable. Number 4. 1947 Dodge Ram 1500 Short Bed, $7,500, Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. This old Dodge pickup has been turned into a rough rat rod built with a Chevy 5.3 swap, front disc brakes, and custom fuel tank setup. According to the seller, it fires up and all the lights work, but it still needs more sorting before becoming a dependable driver. The truck will need trailering and additional tinkering, including possible carburetor adjustments and front tires. It sounds more like a weekend project or local cruiser than something ready for long trips, but the rough old-school style is definitely there. Number 5. 1947 Dodge Ram 1500 Short Bed, $7,500, Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. This second listing for the same Dodge Rat Rod project repeats the same setup with a 5.3 Chevy engine and custom modifications. The truck reportedly runs and starts, but still needs additional work before it could be considered road ready. The seller mentions smaller details still needing attention, which is common on unfinished custom builds like this. For someone who likes rough around the edges vintage trucks, it could be an interesting project platform.
Number 6. 1975 Chevrolet Camaro LT Coupe 2D, $6,500, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. There's very little information included for this Camaro LT listing besides the mileage and basic details. The car appears to be a running late second-generation Camaro project with automatic transmission and relatively low miles showing. Because the description is limited, the overall condition is harder to judge from the listing alone. Still, mid-70s Camaros continue to attract attention thanks to their long hood styling and strong aftermarket support. Number 7. 1970 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe 2D, $7,500, Jeffersonville, Indiana. This C3 Corvette is described as a running and driving project with a small block engine and automatic transmission. The seller says the body is decent overall, though there are expected chips and cracks from age, and the mileage is only an estimate due to the odometer not working. The car also comes with a clean title and newer wheels and tires, which helps the overall presentation. It's clearly not a finished show car, but for someone wanting an affordable entry into classic Corvette ownership, this one sounds like a workable project. Number 8. 1977 Lincoln Continental Town Car, $6,500, Fremont, Wisconsin. This low-mileage Lincoln Town Car appears mechanically strong after receiving a lot of recent maintenance work. The seller mentions the car runs and shifts great, while also being very clean overall for its age. There are still a few issues left to address, including the vinyl roof, gas gauge, coolant temperature sensor, and older tires. Even so, it sounds like a comfortable full-size luxury cruiser that has already had much of the important mechanical work completed. Number 9. 1971 Ford Mustang Coupe 2D, $8,000, Linden Station, Wisconsin. This 71 Mustang is a running and driving project powered by a 302 and automatic transmission. The seller has already installed an Edelbrock intake and carburetor, while also keeping many original parts with the car. The car still needs floor pan installation, rust repair, and new tires before serious road use. Even with those needs, it sounds like a complete and honest project that's been sitting for decades rather than heavily modified over the years. Number 10. 1979 Pontiac Grand Prix, $6,800, Andersonville, Tennessee. This mostly original Pontiac Grand Prix Survivor still runs and drives well with its 301 V8 and dual exhaust setup. The seller describes it as extremely clean inside and out, with plenty of extra parts included from long-term ownership. The biggest issue is the missing reverse gear, although the car reportedly drives normally forward and has still been enjoyed on weekends. For someone comfortable with transmission work, it could be an interesting late 70s personal luxury car project with strong original condition overall.
Number 11. 1977 Ford Mustang II, $7,500, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. This Mustang II comes with a 2.8-liter V6 automatic transmission and just over 40,000 original miles showing. The seller says the car has received extensive recent work, including brakes, cooling components, suspension parts, fuel system parts, ignition components, and a fresh repaint in the factory Vista orange color. The frame is described as very solid, thanks to heavy undercoating done years ago. The original interior also appears to still be in very good condition, which is becoming less common on these smaller late 70s Mustangs. Mechanically, the car sounds mostly sorted and ready to drive. The original exhaust is still in place, and the seller says it runs and drives the way it should after all the recent maintenance work. The only major missing feature is the factory AC system, which was removed because it no longer worked. Still, with paperwork included and a long list of completed repairs, this looks more like a maintained Survivor than a major restoration project. Number 12. 1963 Plymouth Valiant, $7,500, Rocky Mount, Virginia. This Plymouth Valiant keeps things simple with its slant-six engine and 3-speed manual transmission. According to the seller, the car runs and drives well and appears to be a straightforward vintage compact cruiser. The main cosmetic issue mentioned is the paint, which will eventually need attention. Outside of that, the listing presents it as a usable classic rather than a non-running project. Cars like this are usually valued more for reliability and simplicity than outright performance. The slant-six platform has a reputation for durability, and the lightweight body keeps the driving experience old school and uncomplicated. Overall, it sounds like an honest older driver with room for cosmetic improvement. For someone wanting a vintage Mopar without taking on a full restoration immediately, this Valiant could be a manageable project.
Number 13. 1974 Chevrolet Malibu Chevelle, $6,500, Asheville, Ohio. This Malibu appears to be a solid Survivor-style project with mostly original paint and a running 307 backed by a TH350 automatic transmission. The seller mentions the car fires right up and has already received several new parts recently. Mechanical updates include a new gas tank, sending unit, rear brakes, master cylinder, HEI ignition setup, springs, convertible top, and tires. That amount of maintenance work suggests the car has already been brought back from long-term storage. The seller says it came from West Virginia and had reportedly sat for years before being revived. While it may still need brake adjustment and general sorting, it sounds much closer to a driver than a full teardown project. Cosmetically, it still carries the aged Survivor appearance instead of a fresh restoration. That may actually appeal to buyers who prefer original-looking classic cars over heavily restored builds. Number 14. 1973 Mercury Montego, need gone, $6,000, Hammond, Indiana. This Mercury Montego remains mostly stock and uses a 351 Windsor 2-barrel setup. The seller describes it as being in overall great condition with minimal rust and a very clean interior for its age. A long list of recent maintenance has already been completed, including brakes, fuel system parts, ignition components, cooling parts, tires, bearings, and suspension-related service. It sounds like someone invested serious time into making the car dependable again. The car reportedly shifts and drives very well, though there are still a few smaller issues remaining. The AC does not work, the heat is weak, and the fuel gauge is currently not functioning. Even with those issues, the Montego sounds like a realistic vintage driver instead of an unfinished project. Cars like this rarely get much attention compared to Mustangs or Chevelles, but they still carry classic early 70s Ford styling and V8 character. Number 15. 1968 Bradley GT, $6,000, Lucasville, Ohio. The Bradley GT is one of the more unusual cars in this group, using Volkswagen mechanicals underneath a lightweight fiberglass body. This one reportedly runs and drives great and uses a VW engine paired with a manual transmission. These kit cars were built for fun rather than originality or collector value, and that personality still comes through today. Lightweight construction and simple mechanicals make them different from the larger American classics on this list. The seller describes it as a fun little car and appears open to trades as well. Because Bradley GTs were assembled in different ways over the years, condition and quality can vary heavily from one example to another. Still, this one sounds like a usable weekend toy instead of a basket case project. For buyers wanting something uncommon and easy to work on, it offers a very different experience compared to traditional muscle cars. (16) 1966 Oldsmobile 98, $7,500, Muncie, Indiana. This Oldsmobile 98 has clearly seen a lot of maintenance and continued use over the years. The seller describes it as a comfortable driver with smooth operation, working power accessories, and extensive mechanical updates already completed. The car now runs a replacement 455 engine from a later 98, along with suspension work, new tires, exhaust replacement, ignition service, lighting repairs, and other recent maintenance. It sounds like reliability was prioritized over full originality. Inside, much of the original interior remains intact, including the dashboard, carpeting, and trim pieces. There are some age-related flaws like a torn driver's seat and warped package tray, but overall it sounds remarkably complete for a nearly 60-year-old luxury car. This feels more like an old-school highway cruiser than a show car. With Bluetooth audio, functioning accessories, and minimal rust mentioned, it could be a realistic entry point into full-size 1960s American luxury ownership.
Number 17. 1955 Studebaker Champion, $6,700, High Ridge MO. This Studebaker Champion keeps much of its original character with a 6-cylinder engine, automatic transmission, and reportedly very little rust. The seller also notes that the car came from California, which may explain the cleaner body condition. The car is described as running well and still wearing a mostly original appearance. The interior is also said to be in nice shape, which can be difficult to find on lesser-seen independent American brands like Studebaker. Compared to the muscle cars and larger cruisers in this list, the Champion represents a much earlier era of American automotive design. Its styling and proportions stand out immediately among the later 1970s cars. It may not be fast or flashy, but it sounds like a complete and usable classic that has avoided major deterioration. For buyers wanting something different from the usual Ford or Chevrolet projects, this one definitely stands apart.
Number 18. 1974 Dodge Dart Limited Sedan, 4D, $8,000, Mullins, West Virginia. This Dodge Dart Limited appears to be a lower mileage example, with just under 44,000 miles showing. Unfortunately, the seller included very little written information,
making the exact condition harder to judge from the listing alone. The car does appear complete from the provided details and still carries its original luxury-oriented trim and styling. The burgundy exterior with light interior gives it a very typical mid-70s Mopar appearance. Without additional information, buyers would likely need to inspect the mechanical and rust condition carefully in person. Older Dart models can vary heavily depending on storage and previous repairs. Even so, these later Dodge Dart sedans are becoming less common on the road today. For someone wanting a simple vintage Mopar cruiser, it may still be worth a closer look.
Number 19. 1968 Ford Thunderbird Coupe 2D, $8,000, Shamokin, PA. This Thunderbird is powered by a big block 429 and reportedly runs and drives very well. The car also shows low mileage and still carries its classic late 1960s personal luxury coupe styling. The seller mentions the car was repainted years ago and still presents nicely overall. There is some damage on the passenger side, along with missing rocker trim, so it's not a flawless survivor. One important detail mentioned is the age of the tires. Even though the car runs and drives, the seller specifically says they would not recommend driving it until the tires are replaced. Aside from that, it sounds like a mostly complete and operational big-body Ford project. The large engine, long body lines, and luxury styling give it a very different feel compared to smaller muscle cars from the same era. Number 20. 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu, $1,000, Lenore, NC. This Chevelle Malibu is by far the cheapest car in the group and clearly needs significant work before returning to the road. The seller says the 350 engine previously ran and drove well until timing gear failure led to the project being torn apart. The motor currently needs timing chain work, and the oil pan still needs cleaning from broken timing gear debris. The project was started but never completed, leaving the next owner to finish the job. Structurally, the seller says the frame is still solid, even though the floors have rust. The tail panel is also missing, which adds more work to the restoration process. Even with the rough condition, the car still has a title and appears mostly complete. At only $1,000, this is more of a budget restoration candidate or parts project than a ready-to-drive classic. Which one would you say first? Drop it in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more real classic car finds every week.